Today, we are going to take a class quiz. So a quiz with a whole class. So we're working together to solve for this. For your points, you need to do two things to earn full credit on this quiz. You need to show your work for every single question on this paper. Whenever I write up the board, you should be writing down. Whatever you and your partner talk about, you'll be writing down. And then, every single person needs to participate. Give answers. Answer the question at least one time. If you do those two things, you get an A. Okay. So, our goal today is to be able to find the area, surface area, and volume using the formulas that we already talked about. Then, like the last 5 to 10 minutes of class, we're going to move into statistics. I'm going to talk about what a statistical question is, and you should be able to give an example. So, let's go ahead and start with this review. I would like for you to talk with your neighbors about question number 1 on this review. Find a neighbor and talk with them on question number 1. For question number 1, it says a rectangular poster has an area of 22 square feet. It is 2 3/4 feet wide. What is its base? Okay, so we draw a rectangular poster. It has an area of 22 feet squared, and the width is 2 3/4. What is the height of the poster? Okay, what is the first thing we should be writing down? Maddie? Perfect. Area equals base times height. I'm going to move this over to here to help us out with 2 3/4. What is the area of the rectangle? Sydney? 22 feet squared equals, what is the base of this rectangle? Tyson? Good. 2 3/4 feet times, what is the height of this rectangle? Emma? Good. X or any variable. I'm going to use H because that's what we are looking for, the height. So it just helps me recognize that. What is the next step? Lily?
You divide 2 3/4 from both sides.
Good. So before that, you would need to make a T-chart. Good. We are dividing by 2 3/4. Divide by 2 3/4. It should say H equals 22 divided by 2 3/4. What is the answer, Tom?
8.
8 what?
8 feet.
It should be 8 feet. Your height needs to be in feet. Because we've taken feet squared, 2 feet on top, and there's a 1 foot on the bottom. One of them cross each other out. All right. Are we good with that? Okay. Then, I want you independently go ahead and answer question number 2. What are the 2 formulas for finding the area of a triangle? Who can give me one? Maggie?
Area equals base times height divided by 2.
Area equals base times height divided by 2. I agree with that one. What's the other one, Brogan?
A equals 1/2
being able to find the area of this triangle is great. What I want you to know more of, though, is why do these formulas work? Why is the formula base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 the base times the height? Can someone explain that to the class? Tyson. Perfect. Okay? If we duplicate this triangle, we create two identical ones, we will create a rectangle. Okay? To find the area of a rectangle, you do the base times the height. Again, there's two identical triangles. We only want one of them, so we divide it by 2 or multiply it by 1/2. That's what you need to know about triangles. Okay? How you get to that formula. Let's solve it real quick. What is the base of this triangle? Patrick? 6. Good. Yards. Times the height. What is the height? Rylan? 7 yards. We're going to divide that by 2. We should get an area equals what? Clayton? 21. Yards. It is squared because we have a yard times a yard. Okay. Nice job. All right. Go ahead and you may talk with a neighbor on solving question number 3. All right. We need to find the area of a parallelogram. How do you find the area of a parallelogram? Remember, everyone needs to participate. So make sure you're raising your hand. Parker. Area equals base times height. All right. We don't know the area, so we can have area equals. What is the base of this parallelogram? Ella? 17 centimeters times the height. What is the height of this parallelogram? Lauren? 9 centimeters. Lauren, why is 9 the height? Explain the side. So what does a height have to have? Go ahead. Has to have a right angle. Okay, so that's why we were using 9 centimeters. Okay. Area equals, what is the final answer there, Jacob? 153 centimeters squared. Or letter B. Why is it base times height? Why is that the formula for all parallelograms? Same thing like a triangle. Do you know why does it work for parallelograms? Max? Perfect. Love your terminology, Max. Great job. We can cut this triangle off, scoot it over, using all the same things to create a rectangle. Formula area rectangle is base times height. All right, nice job. All right, number 4. I want you to solve question area of this triangle. What is the formula? Ben? Area equals base times height divided by 2. Okay, someone now share, why does this formula work for the area of this triangle? Great. Not because it's a right angle. We do use that right angle to solve this. Patrick? Okay. Would 2 of these triangles create a rectangle? Rylan? Good. 2 identical triangles. If we had 2 of these identical triangles, we would create a parallelogram. What is the formula for the area of a parallelogram altogether? Base times height. We have two identical triangles. We want to know one of them, so we divide by 2. All right, area equals, what is the base of this triangle? Remember, I need everyone to participate today, so if you haven't shared anything out, make sure you're raising your hand. Quinn? 26 yards. What is the height? Hudson?
12 yards.
Okay, Hudson, why is 12 yards the height?
I used an artificial right angle to figure out the height of the triangle.
Perfect. Is that okay? Yes, because this base can go on forever and ever. And it has a right angle that goes through that base. Okay. Then we divide it by 2. Did someone get an answer? What was your answer? Beckham. 156 yards square. Is everyone okay with that? All right. Nice job. Well, let's go ahead and move on to question number 5. All right, question number 5. We need to find the net of a cube. Which one of these nets is the correct answer? Aiden. B. Do we agree with Aiden that B is correct? Yes. Okay, some more questions with this. What is correct about A? Part of it is correct. Emma. Good. There are 6 spaces in this net, but if we were to close them together, it would not be a closed figure. Okay. What is incorrect about letter C's net? Let's see here. Tom.
There's only 5 sides.
Not 5 sides. 5 faces. Okay, we need to have 6 faces. That's a quick way to see if your answer is correct. All right. Nice job. Question number 6. Finding the surface area of a rectangular prism. Probably one of the hardest things to do in geometry because it takes a lot of patience. It takes neat work and making sure you've done all steps. I want you to try this one on your own. When doing this, you multiply these together, you get a final answer of 98.2 centimeters squared. All right, then the last question. Question number 7. We need to find the volume of the right rectangular prism. How do we find the volume of a rectangular prism? What is the formula? Caitlin, do you have the formula? Yes. Volume equals length times width times height. The other formula is volume equals big B times the height. The big B stands for length times width. It is the base of the actual prism. Okay. Question. All right, go ahead and make sure you got that work down there. Check your neighbor's work. Make sure they are showing work throughout the whole thing. If we all have done that, everyone participated. So as long as everyone showed their work. Oh. We are not taking a test on geometry, so this is like yours. Did anyone get a final answer for question number 7? What did you get? Patrick. 16 over 343. Do we agree with that? I agree. Inches cubed. Why is it cubed? Rylan. Good. Inch times inch times inch times inch. 3 of them. Nice job. Okay. We are going to move on to, please don't pack up early. A statistical question is a question that investigates an aspect of the world and can have more than one possible response. As long as it has more than one possible response. So an example of a statistical question is, how old are the students in my class? How old are you, Ella? 12. How old are you, Aiden? 12. How old are you? 11. Do we have multiple different answers? Yes. You would be around 11, 12, 10, 13. I don't know. I'm at X years old. Okay? We're all different. All right? Then, another question. How do my friends get to school? Great. How do your friends get to school? Bus. How do your friends get to school? Bus. How do your friends get to school? How do your friends get to school? Skateboarding. They rode a bike. They ran. They took a train. Took a bus. I don't know. Whatever it is. We have more than one answer. Okay. Now, this is not a statistical question. If I read this, how old am I? I'm X years old. How many answers do I have? 1. You read that yourself. I am Jacob. How old am I? I am 13. That's my age. Okay, there's one answer. Does that make sense? How did I get to school today? Well, I drove to school today. That's how I got here. How did you get here, Hudson? By bus. We have one answer. We're good with that. All right, let's keep going. How many hours do students play video games in one day? A statistical question. Why is that a statistical question? I want you to read through there. A through D. Which one do you think it is? Rylan, what do you think?
I think B, because the number of hours of maybe like different students are like playing different hours of different games.
Absolutely. B is the correct answer. Depending on what you do after school, whether you have restrictions on your video games, whether you're in a sport or extracurricular activity that allows you not to play as much or more, changes it. Okay, last thing you're going to do, turn the paper over. I want you to decide whether these 4 questions are statistical or not statistical.
Good afternoon, Spring Grove Intermediate. I just have a few afternoon announcements. Students, tomorrow, please make sure you know where to report to. We have students on teams B and C who will be taking the first part of the language arts test tomorrow. Teams A and B, you will be participating in your team rotation. So please know where you need to report to tomorrow. Also, make sure you report.
Please make sure you're listening to work.
Fluorescence tomorrow before you come in. For our students who are testing, if you do not feel comfortable leaving your cell phones or your smartwatches at home, you can either leave them in your locker while you are testing. If you do not feel comfortable leaving them in your locker, you will have to turn the device off and turn it into your testing computer while testing is happening. It will include your phone and or smartwatch. So those devices will need to be turned off and turned into your testing computer prior to testing. If you do not feel comfortable leaving in your locker or leaving them at home, please be prepared for that. Students, all that we ask is that you try your best on this upcoming test that turn out to stress out about it. And it is what it is, and we just need to take this test to see how far what we've learned and what we need to improve on. We can't do that without you trying your best. That is it for the afternoon announcement. You are great at the doctor.
All right, have a wonderful rest of